Imagine a city called Clarion, where the citizens don't use money to buy what they need. Instead, they use stamps. These stamps aren't kept in wallets. They are pressed directly onto your skin by other people. A gold star for a funny joke, a green check mark for a job well done, or a gray smudge for an awkward comment. In Clarion, your physical height was determined by your stamps. If you had a body covered in gold stars, you walked tall, literally towering over the buildings. But if you had too many gray smudges, you began to shrink. People who were heavily smudged often ended up crawling on the ground, invisible and forgotten. Oliver was a star chaser. He was obsessed with his height every morning. He would stand in the town square and perform, telling stories, wearing the trendiest clothes, and agreeing with everyone's opinions. He was exhausted from walking on eggshells, constantly checking his reflection to see if he had gained a new star or a dreaded smudge. He felt like a house of cards, ready to collapse if the wind of public opinion changed for even a second one day. Oliver noticed a man named Thomas sitting on a bench. Thomas was strange. He was neither a giant nor a dwarf. He was simply a normal, steady height. But what was truly shocking was Thomas's skin. It was completely blank. There were no stars, no smudges, nothing. "Thomas," Oliver whispered, "how do you survive? Where are your stamps? Don't you want to be tall? Don't you fear the smudges?" Thomas smiled, and for the first time in his life, Oliver saw someone whose eyes didn't look like they were searching for something in others. "I found the fountain of oil," Thomas said. "I rubbed it into my skin years ago. Now nothing sticks. The stars slide off, and the smudges don't leave a mark." Oliver was horrified. But if nothing sticks, how do you know who you are? How do you know if you are good, or smart, or worthy? This is the external trap we all fall into. We think we are the sum of other people's opinions. We believe that validation must come from a source outside of ourselves. Thomas stood up. "Oliver, come with me." He led Oliver to a quiet lake deep in the forest. The water was as still as a sheet of glass. "Look at your reflection, Oliver, but don't look at the stamps. Look at the man beneath them." Oliver looked. He saw a man who was tired. He saw a man who loved to paint, though he hadn't touched a brush in years because he feared people wouldn't star his work. He saw a man who was kind, even though kindness didn't always get the loudest applause. "In Clarion," Thomas said, "you are a canvas for other people's brushes. You have given them the power to decide your size." But true autonomy means being the only one who holds the stamp. Why wait for a gold star from a stranger to know you are kind? Why wait for a green check mark to know you are talented? This was Oliver's epiphany. He realized that seeking approval is like drinking salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. It is an endless race where the finish line is always moving. He asked Thomas for the oil. But Thomas shook his head. "The oil isn't a liquid, Oliver. It's a decision. It is the decision to provide your own internal validation. It is the commitment to your own authenticity." Oliver returned to Clarion. He did something radical. He went to the square, but he didn't perform. He spoke his truth, even when it was unpopular. Someone tried to press a gray smudge onto his arm because they disagreed with him. Oliver looked at the mark, smiled, and realized it didn't feel heavy anymore. He didn't feel himself shrinking. He realized that his worth was a constant, like the sun behind the clouds. Whether people saw it or not, it was always there. Slowly, the stars and smudges began to fade from Oliver's skin. As they disappeared, a strange thing happened. He didn't shrink, and he didn't grow into a giant. He stayed exactly the same size, solid, grounded, and real. He had finally found tranquility. Tonight, look at the digital Clarion we live in. How many stamps are you chasing on your phone? Whose star are you begging for at work or at home? Realize that every time you seek approval, you are handing a piece of your soul to someone else. You are asking them to tell you if you are allowed to be happy today. Take the power back. Rub the oil of self-knowledge into your spirit. When you stop looking for yourself in the eyes of others, you finally find yourself in the quiet of your own heart. You are enough. Not because someone said so, but because you are the master of your own integrity. The stamps may fall, but you, the real you, will always remain standing.